What's up everyone, and welcome back to my channel, where I talk and do everything pinball. If that sounds interesting to you, then hit that subscribe button down below. In this video, I'm going to be showing you a time-lapse footage of how Jason and I removed the top and bottom of the Centaur playfield and got it prepared for a complete playfield swap. Again, this is time-lapse, so it's not going to go into every little bitty detail, but I will discuss what we are doing and why we are doing it throughout the video. So let the show begin. Whoa. The only question is, man, when are we gonna do it? Here we go. Centaur, a pinball machine designed by Jim Padelaw and produced by Bally. This game was actually inspired by the classic Bally's 1956 Balls of Poppin'. Balls of Poppin' was the first flipper machine with multi-ball. Padelaw did an amazing job on the design for this game. The gameplay is very entertaining and fun, and depending on how well you play, it can be a very difficult game as well. But one thing that majorly stands out to me on this game is obviously the artwork. Paul Ferris did an amazing job on this game. Once again, another playfield in which it looks like someone took a belt sander to it and fell asleep. But again, this is only going to be temporary, for this playfield is about to be removed from the machine, completely stripped down top and bottom, and we are going to be putting in a reproduction playfield from CPR. Now right here we are removing the cables from the backbox boards. When you're doing this, you definitely want to take photographs of where the cables originally went, or you can label them as you see fit. But it's highly recommended that you do not accidentally hook the wires up the wrong way. Most of the boards are keyed to where it won't let you do it wrong, but some are not. Here we are removing the trough area portion so that way we can easily mount it to the playfield rotisserie without anything being in the way. Now, the sad part about this is that none of us took any pictures or documented what we were removing, where we were removing it from, and this will not take effect till towards the end of our rebuild process, and we're looking through our phones wondering where the hell is the documentation on the trough portion. And this is why, because we were just taking it apart right there, still inside the machine, and both of us never thought to take pictures. On to the rotisserie, out of the Centaur cabinet. When mounting your playfield to your rotisserie, you want to make sure that none of your leaf switches in your trough area or anything that basically the metal rack for your rotisserie, just make sure that nothing is being damaged while you are mounting it with your C-clamps. You don't want to just sit there and just press it down into the metal clamping, and meanwhile your leaf switches or your trough switches are getting bent or twisted up. So just make sure that everything is clear whenever you're mounting that down, which is something that we did. Now, this area of the playfield was around the rails, and these nails are essentially just kind of wood screws that kind of just are pulled out, and we had to like wedge them out without damaging the metal or the wood. The thing is, this wood right here, this rail, is already damaged pretty bad. We realized that when removing this rail, so we decided to make all new wooden rails due to that one piece of wood that's already damaged and cracked and split. You're going to see us throughout this teardown, taking out our cell phones and taking pictures or videos. This is going to be very helpful on the rebuild process. You also see the major benefits of using a rotisserie while you are tearing this thing apart. Here's a good overview of what the playfield looks like as of right now. And yeah, we just got a few little mechanics to remove: flippers, pop bumpers, and some targets. Everything that sticks out on the other side of the playfield is going to be undone now. I think at this time I'm like on beer 4 or 5. I don't know. I don't think I'm that deep in. Maybe 2. No more than 3. I don't know. So as you can see, Jason's already going over the underside of the playfield, documenting where everything is currently at. Here we are clearing the way, because now we're going to be removing the playfield from the rotisserie and beginning the teardown process of the undercarriage. Here you have it. Everything right here is about to be removed. But we're not going to be removing it and taking it off the playfield. All we're going to be doing as of right now is just unscrewing every mechanic, every light, and going to be undoing every staple that is tying down the GI line to the underside of this playfield. So what we're doing now, as you can see, Jason is going over the playfield very slowly to make sure that he has documentation of where everything is currently located on the playfield. Because the major thing is, guys, if you're doing a playfield swap on a machine that works already as it is, wouldn't it make sense to rebuild it the same way because you know it works? That's essentially how this is working. Now, if you don't have any kind of master playfield to build from, that's gonna suck, because we utilized the old playfield throughout this playfield swap because we wanted it to be essentially identical to the master because we knew it worked that way. Getting the staples out of all this GI line was really a pain in the ass because they put a lot of staples in this GI line, and when we rebuild it, we put nowhere near as many staples in the line because it really wasn't needed. I mean, we put them around any kind of area where there was any kind of droopage in the line, but other than that, I'd say we easily put in less than 20, and they put in I don't even remember. I'm not even gonna lie to you on how many staples I had to remove for this damn GI line. Here we have documentation of how this trough area is put together and removed, so that way we have a better idea on how to rebuild it. Then we go right back to tearing out the GI line staples and removing all of the screws, but keeping everything in its current place. You might be able to see the screw pile next to the playfield right down there on the Ziploc bags, starting to get bigger and bigger over the time being. It's kind of funny. Something else I start doing throughout this GI line removal is basically taking an ink pen, not pencil, take an ink pen, that way it's much more permanent and not easily washed off for whatever reason, and I trace exactly where the GI line is on the old playfield. Where I'm removing the staples, I'm just following along with the pen, marking where the GI line is going around all the light bulbs and mechanics or wherever, and when the GI line comes to an end, I put a giant X in that location. That way I know that GI line does not go any further than that point. So there is less confusion when reapplying the GI line to the new playfield. And I really wish we would have had a clock on the wall just to show you the time-lapse amount of time that it took us to remove this entire backside of the playfield. Even in time-lapse, you can see how much time and effort is having to be put into this one, guys. There is surprisingly a lot of stuff on the backside of this playfield when it comes to unscrewing and screwing things in. I mean, you don't really realize how much is on the backside of a playfield until you have to remove every damn screws that keeps it held together. Here we are at this point, we're essentially just going over everything just to make sure that we have everything ready to be easily removed. And how we're going to be removing the backside of the playfield is using a large piece of cardboard. You can use a sheet of wood, whatever you see fit, as long as it's able to be slid up underneath all of the wiring and mechanics. So we're just going to be taking a small sheet of cardboard and starting from the flipper area and just sliding it up underneath, while the other person, in this case Jason, will be placing everything on top of the cardboard, and we're just going to be sliding it down, keeping everything as close as possible into the position as which it was on the playfield. This will keep us from accidentally getting confused on where certain things go, or wires getting tangled up for whatever reason, like Christmas lights they are, and just it makes it just a lot more neater and easier whenever you're putting it back together again. Now, the game we played during this whole process of sliding it off of the playfield is to count how many times which one of us missed a component on, whether it be a screw that was holding something down or a staple which was holding the GI line down. So let's see how the count is. There's one staple for me, one screw for Jason. 1 versus 1 right there. Oh, 2 screws for Jason. Oh, 2 staples for Cary. So it's 2v2 right now. 3 staples for me. Oh, 3 screws. Oh, 4 screws. It's 4v3. And it looks like, I think that's everything right there. 4 screws, 3 staples. Not too bad. But there you go. Everything's off the playfield. Playfield is completely clear. So there it is. The playfield is completely clear, top and bottom. But what's next? What's the next step on this process? That's going to be in part 2. Thanks for watching, guys. That's going to wrap up this video for Centaur Playfield Swap. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and if you like what you've seen here, do not forget to hit that thumbs up button. The commenting and the likes and the subscribes really help this channel to grow, and has been doing well the last month, and I want to continue to do so. We're getting close to that 100 subscribers mark. I'm pretty excited about that. It's not a lot, but whenever you're dealing with such a niche hobby, I mean, that's pretty damn good. That's all for now, guys. Until next time, peace out.